recording. Let me adjust this a little, just a hair there. I'm going to start with the good stuff, and then I'm going to enter the not so good stuff. The good stuff is church was absolutely fabulous yesterday. Linda and I thoroughly enjoyed it. We had a little impromptu meal after church. That was great. We had an associate pastor. In other churches, you would call a pastor a bishop, but ours is an exceptionally good guy named Larry Fry. He and his wife Sandy are just about as perfect as a human being could be. And the new associate pastor that gave the sermon yesterday gave and took messages after everybody ate, and then I had to leave early. I mean, that meeting probably went on to 2 o'clock or something, and the reason being, okay, I've got about 10 of these pills left. They're prescription for one type of pain I have, and I don't take them every day. When I have that pain, gabapentin won't help it. I have to take one of those, and I had to come home when I really wanted to stay and visit with my church family. One of the things I mentioned, and a friend of mine, Charles Brady, verified it. Our church doesn't have little cliques. First of all, as one body, we are a church family, and there's no one-upmanship, none of that. Other churches, you'll find that in abundance. It was a great time, but I was hurting so bad Linda had to drive us home. And right now, my son Chris is out working on her pickup. There's a console problem, and I'm probably going to have to get a new one for it, a module. I don't know yet. We'll find out. Let me... I just finished a bean and cheese burrito for breakfast with salsa, garlic stuffed olives, cherry tomatoes, and then I had a couple of chocolate chip cookies for dessert. Linda is still in the house. She has to shower. Now this gets to the not so good stuff. Not saying my wife is not so good, but this camera's having problems focusing, and I understand that. The not so good stuff. Well, I decided to start an eBay business, and Linda's going to be helping me, and she's going to get all the money off of it after expenses. So I started going through my stuff out here. Originally I had a big camera that I was going to part with, and I decided, no, there are things I want to do. I need that camera. Now, I took some photographs on a white towel yesterday. I've got them on a flash drive, and I've got them in this computer. Let me kill this. That camera takes an industrial tripod. It can't use a little tripod like this. It has to have a stabilizer, has to have auto balance, and I thought maybe I'd given it to one of my boys. I asked Nick, and he looked in his bedroom and he brought out a tripod, but that's not it. I gave him one for his drone that we're going to be using. But here's the problem. I've had a box with silver and silver supplies in it missing, like 4 cameras that are missing, an industrial tripod, and I'm sure I'll find other things that are missing out of here. And I thought maybe it was recent, but it wasn't. There's a young woman, not really young, she's in her 40s, that I will not name. She watches these. I know that for a fact. She's on my subscriber list. I won't name her name. She knows who I'm talking about. She came into her life, tried to insinuate herself into my family and everything, and there was one day that I left this office unlocked while she was out here. Girl, you made an enemy. I don't have many enemies, but when you do something like you did, she also stole from my best friend Jerry in a way. He wouldn't even remember it. She plundered everybody. There's nothing I can do about it except you'll watch this last one and then I'm bumping you from my subscriber list. I'll go from 49 down to 47 or 46. This woman tried to come between Linda and myself. She actually told me once I needed to leave my wife and marry her. You couldn't separate me from my wife with a stick of dynamite. If I died, my ghost would hang around her from then on. I am stone cold, certifiably in love with my wife. I've never stepped out on her. She's never stepped out on me. There's never been even any inkling of us cheating on each other. And she's my soulmate. Like my sister met her husband, J.D. They're soulmates. My mom and my dad, they were soulmates. My dad's gone, mom's still alive. I talked to my wife yesterday, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a padlock with one of those oil-filled locks on it, on that door right there. I hate gumming up that door. It's a solid oak door, very heavy. They weigh about 250, 300 pounds each. That's why it's on this office. The door frame is 2x6 and 2x8. And the screws aren't little short screws that hold it, they're long screws. It would take a lot. You could break the door and get in. And certain ABC agencies have no doubt been in here slipping the locks. But they didn't take the stuff that's missing. And I don't know what all's missing until I do an inventory. And that takes time. There's so many things in this little small office, you couldn't find all of it. You really couldn't. I've got oodles of computers down there, tools down there, files down there, camera equipment down there, camera equipment back there. I've got 9, 10, or 11 guitars hanging everywhere. 2 of them belong to my son Benjamin that I gave him. I've got a file cabinet full of stuff, tubs full of electronic gear, and I'm going to sell a bunch of this stuff on eBay. I have to go through it. That's why I need the inventory. But when I decided, I haven't seen that one tripod since you were here. My old pastor, John Wiley, was pastor of my church. It's the last time I saw it. And I just moved out into this office. It hadn't been painted, trimmed, none of that. And you were out here teary-eyed telling me that you love me. Well, listen, when it comes to that stuff, I've got a heart made out of obsidian. Read into that what you want to. But, and if anybody wants to know this girl's name, private message me on Facebook or email me, and I'll tell you who she is. I'm not going to do it in a public venue. She has family that has resources. But that's how I found out what a monstrous liar the girl is. Because come on in. My grandson and my wife just walked in. Because I actually, come here and say hi to everybody. This is my grandson, Walter.
Hi.
Okay, go sit down with Nana and I'll finish up. But I'm not trying to be a downer on this vlog. Like I said, you want to know what the woman's name is? Private message me and I'll tell you. You probably know her, you might not know her, but she's an absolute horrendous piece of whatever. I'm finding more stuff all the time that I've not seen since John Wiley was my pastor, and that was about the time she came in and tried to insert herself into our lives and tried to get me to leave my wife and run off with her. And like I said, that will never happen, but I'm finding more and more things gone, and I believe she took them. The tripod that's missing, when I had it, cost me $389. It was not a cheap tripod. I have some friends in the import-export business that I just bought a replica of it, and it didn't cost me anywhere near that. I mean, a fraction of that. Fortunately, I've got friends that are merchandisers. But girl, if you ever come back to see me, I will physically remove you from our property.
Oh no, that's my job.
Well, Linda just said that's her job, but like I said, she skint me, she skint my best friend Jerry, she skint a few other people and disappeared. Well, folks, that's all for the vlog today. I hear either my son Chris's pickup rumbling or my wife's pickup rumbling out there. Got to get off here. God bless you. I love you. Like the sign says up there, be kind. And due to circumstances, I'm not in a kind mood today, and I've got to repent of that. Love you all. God bless you, and bye.